Hello and welcome. James Mann back with part 2 of my March 20th, 2025 Cape Enrage video. My camera is 127 feet above sea level, at Cape Enrage, New Brunswick. In part 1 I was at Cape Enrage looking 21, 36, 41, and 43 miles, with zero measurable Earth curvature. Think about this next statement. I have personally proven there is zero measurable curvature to 43 miles, while I was standing with my camera at 127 feet above sea level, at Cape Enrage, New Brunswick. I have made this same observation at least 1,000 times since March 2018. And think about this. Proving zero measurable curvature to 43 miles tells us there can be zero measurable curvature to the locations in this second observation, where I am looking 16, 19, 25, and 30 miles, from the same 127-foot camera level. The red circle shows my first 4 observations of the day, and has a 43-mile radius. The yellow circle shows my second set of observations for today. It has a 30-mile radius. This is where I ended part 1 by turning around and looking 30 miles to the Amherst, Nova Scotia wind turbines. The distance left and right between these 2 points is only 0.17 miles, or 866 feet. However, the point on the right is 19 miles out, while the point on the left is just 16 miles away from my camera. My camera is 127 feet above sea level. I am not disproving curvature from here, I'm just showing you what I can see with my Nikon P1000 camera. Let's zoom in closer so I can show you what we are seeing. That point is part of Lower Cove, Nova Scotia. The land is 30 to 40 feet high where the tree line starts. And we can see the point is going out a long way into the water. The tide still has a couple of hours until low tide, showing we are seeing down to about 10 feet. This point is Rockport, New Brunswick, and the tree line there is less than about 30 to 40 feet as well. The hill beyond the points is 125 feet at the highest point, 25 miles away. And the wind turbines are 30 miles away, 300 feet to the turbine, and 400 feet to the top of a vertical blade. I will now move my camera down from 127 to 105 feet, and look again. The point on the right at 19 miles should have 28 feet of curvature. There should be 8 feet of curvature to the 16 miles point. That actually disproves curvature, 28 feet is above the seaweed line. The 125-foot high wall 25 miles away should have 100 feet of curvature. The turbines 30 miles away would have 200 feet of earth curvature, which would leave 100 feet visible to the turbine. The red line is at about 28 feet, yet we are almost seeing down to sea level. The reason we don't see down to sea level is because low tide is still a couple of hours away. Let's talk about the 125-foot high hill between the 2 points. Earth curvature calculators say there should be 103 feet of predicted earth curvature, leaving 22 feet plus the trees visible. Let me mark that with a line. Earth curvature should be blocking all but the top 20 feet of the 125-foot high hill, yet it isn't, it's actually about 90% visible. Again, the tide is not fully out for 2 more hours. The turbine towers are 300 feet high where the blades join. Earth curvature calculators say there is 200 feet of predicted earth curvature to those turbines, leaving just 100 feet of the tower visible. Let's talk about that. Let me mark the 100-foot long vertical blade. And now I will copy that line and place it on the tower. This shows we are seeing about 75 feet of the tower. However, there is a 120-foot high hill blocking more than 120 feet of those towers, due to apparent angular size change of the 30 miles. Just because we can't see all of the tower doesn't mean it's not there. Think about this, if we removed the hill we would see more than 120 feet of the tower, plus the 75 feet above the trees. There is zero measurable curvature. The dark rocks at the water are seaweed covered, and are covered by high tide twice a day. The arrow at 27 feet is just above the seaweed line. And the tree line is about 30 feet above sea level. The red line is marking the high tide mark at about 22 to 25 feet above sea level. With my camera at 67 feet above sea level, looking 16 miles to Rockport, New Brunswick, the curvature demand is 23 feet, which is about where the seaweed stops. The fact we still see the point going out into the water disproves any measurable curvature to the 16-mile distance. That 125-foot high wall should now have 150 feet of curvature, yet we are still seeing almost 100% of that hill, disproving any measurable curvature to 25 miles. I showed there was no measurable earth curvature looking from 67 feet. Now my camera is just 27 feet above sea level. The red dot is the center of the turbine blades 300 feet above sea level. This shows we are seeing to 300 feet above sea level. Plus we are seeing the 100-foot long blades. And this shows there is 100 feet of missing earth curvature.